Be still and know that you are the perfect angle of light. Father, Mother God, we give thanks for this day, this place, where we can truly express the true divinity of ourselves, knowing that we are the divine ones. We walk with that authority and that mantle, knowing that what we ask for, we receive in abundance. And for this time that we spend together in oneness and harmony, we say Ashe, 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 Ashe. Peace and blessings. It's good to see you guys. And before I start, I want to give you I sat down to do a meditation, and the Spirit gave me a little more. I am the angle of light that men seek to soothe out the wrinkles of time. I am the nourishment they drink to fortify their loins. I am the nest they call home. I am the original black dot. I am man. Woo! I just got that. I sat down here and I got up because it started coming. Spirit does that too.
And I can testify.
Yes, that's why I
Oh, that was fun. Can you read it one more time?
Yeah.
That was fun.
I am the angle of light that men seek to smooth out the wrinkles of time. I am the nourishment they drink to fortify their loins. I am the nest they call home. I am the original black dot. I am the man. I love Spirit. I really, really love Spirit. I love working with Spirit. And I think for me, that is the biggest thing that I want to give to humanity. Is for humanity to love Spirit, all of creation, all of their beings, and to understand their unique place in that. Because it is so unique. When we really start understanding, we've been given such bad information, and now that the information is starting to flow, and we're able to hear the truth, because so many people have studied us for so long, and they've studied wrong, because they don't contain the same essence that we do. So when when each angle, because I don't believe in angels. I hope some of you guys know that. Don't want to bust your bubbles, but a lot of people do believe in angels, and those mystical creatures may exist. Okay? So I know everybody wants to be right, so you can still be right and believe in your angels. But I believe in angles. That's a play on words, okay? Because we are light. We are divine, magnetic light. That's why I don't believe in angels, because I believe that even when Yeshua's father said that Gabriel came to talk to him, well, which direction does the angel Gabriel govern? Okay, so I think it's the north. So if it's the north, then he might have been standing in the north wind when the angel spoke the words to him. Or when he heard, being at that angle, he was able to hear or to see directions. Okay? If he had imagination, then he might have saw arms being saying, talking to him. And he created the story of the angel. Because when you think about what we do, even when you can talk about women who are wanting to use creams on their faces to reduce the wrinkles, then there is a chemical that you can use to put on your face that will fill up that angle and reflect the light. Oh. So when we start understanding what it is that we're saying, what it is that we're doing, it makes a little bit more sense to us. It doesn't seem so spooky. It doesn't seem so out of this world. It seems more manageable so that you can manifest your true God. Because for so long they've been telling us that you're not this, you're not that, you can't do this, you need money, you need guns, you need power, but you don't. If it was so, then the universe would have told us we needed guns, we needed money. We didn't. They said everything was here. All you had to do was to ask. So when you know how to ask the right questions, you get the right answers. So as our minds start opening up into different angles and understanding, we have this is where sacred geometry comes in, because those are various angles of light. And when you open your mind to receive the various angles of light, then you interpret your world totally different. Totally different. When we say that we stand on our 90-degree angle, you make yourself that 90-degree angle. If someone else joined my hand and made a 90-degree angle, we would have, 180 degrees. So we get two more people, made 360. Because 4, we know, is the basis of creation. The 4 corners, the 4 angels, the 4 winds, the 4 elements. So you start off with the 4 to build your foundation, that foundational block. So once we start understanding these things, then we can truly understand that it's not just the mouthing of the words for these, what they call spells. We automatically dismiss the spells. But today we're going to be talking about, how do I love me? How do I love me? What is it that I do to love me? Not you, 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 but me. What is it that I do to love me? And I've given everybody a piece of paper. I didn't give you a doctor. And just jot down a few things that you do to love you. What is that you do to love you? When we start our classes here at the ISE, that's the first thing that we say. You're the most important person in the world. And I truly, truly mean that. That student, that one student, is the most important. Now the other students are important too, but each one of them in their own is the most important. Because as one angle of light understands what it is doing, then it can reflect energy to the other angle of light, and we can have a creation. And this is what we have to start understanding. This is one of the keys in understanding who we are as divine people. When we understand that, then we understand how to use the crystal. When do I need this particular crystal? When do I need this stone? When do I need to get up? When do I need to place myself at the right and proper angle so that I can reflect the energy? So when we talk about how do I love me, and I thought about that, because when you ask people, well, what do you want to do? People always say, I want to help people. When you ask them, well, how do you want to help people? They usually don't have a real answer. They just want to help people. How are you going to help people if you can't help yourself? And really, when they're asking that question, when they're saying that they want to help people, they really are asking for help. So the more help that I give others, the more help that I will receive. Right? So I said, okay, well then how am I loving me? How do I love me more? Because the more I love me, then the more I can love you. I love me by wearing all cotton clothing so that my body may fully breathe the prana in the universe. I love me by eating whole and healthy foods. I love me by drinking whole, healthy water. I love me by communing with the universe every day through a dedicated meditation, but just through my thoughts of prayer. Because every thought that we have is truly a prayer. So I'm constant in communication with the universe. But then there's that one dedicated hour of time, or really 20 minutes, or 24 minutes, I give to the Creator, where there's no distraction, no me multitasking, I'm doing this while I'm having these positive thinking or thoughts, or I'm sitting on a royal throne with the house divided. No, I take the time away, I sit, and I be totally in communication with the universe. Divine meditation, divine connection. Now, I'm never, ever, really, ever separated from the universe, even when I'm thinking amiss. I'm never, ever separated from the universe. It is I who call myself human who forgets. Everything that is in our atmosphere, our universe, whatever you perceive your universe to be, your home, all of those are angles of light. Energy. That's what it is. It's energy, and it's moving at various rates. So when you start understanding that, you can start understanding the use of this temple. Then you can start knowing how I can really communicate with all of the world, all of the angles, all of the sounds, the colors, the movements, and how they come into being. We then become truly gods. Now, I know we say it. We say it out of our mouths, but do we feel it in our being? Do we carry that mantle of Godship with us? Are you walking your walk and talking your talk? Are you truly using your divine authority of who you are as a divine being? There was an incident, and it's been a while ago, and I was at a workshop with some friends. And we were at somebody's house, and the mother had prepared coffee for all of us. And she had brought the coffee down into the break room, and she left it. She said, "Ladies, there's some coffee here, help yourself." Nobody touched the coffee. Everybody drank coffee, but nobody touched the coffee. So I come in, and they said, "Dorita, there's coffee here. There's bubbles in it." I said, "What do you mean bubbles?" She said she didn't want the pot out good, because if they were coffee bubbles, they would have dissipated. But the bubbles were still, in the corner, so that meant that they were soaked in the coffee. Everybody was waiting for me to take the coffee pot and go and give it to the lady and say, "Hey, when you made the coffee, you had soap in it, do something. You made us another pot." Why? Why did they do that? And this thought just came to me today. This happened, I know it had to be at least 15 years ago, But I ask for these things so that I can clear up my karma as I go. And when I got there, I didn't say anything either. I did the same thing that they did. I left the coffee pot, nobody touched the coffee. Nobody said anything to her about it. Then I realized that even at that time, I was already displaying leadership, but I hadn't walked into my own on it. So they waited for me so that I would be the one to tell her that I would take authority and say, "The coffee has bubbles in it, soap is in the coffee." But I didn't, because I did not know myself. And a lot of times this is what happens to us too. We're not knowing who we are yet, but others can see your divinity, and they'll tell you that. You'll feel it, you'll know it, but you're not quite ready to walk in that mantle, and that's okay too. And that's what we have to learn. When do I start? When do I step up? When do I move into my full divinity of who I am? When do I stop being the student and now I'm the teacher? And only your true spirit can tell you that when you are truly, truly ready for that. Because a lot of us, just because we get a certain age or we get a certain position or we get a certain certificate, think that we are now the guru.
Right.
It is not so.
Amen.
It is not so.
That's right.
There is so much in this world to learn, to know, and to master. Because whatever it is that you are going to teach, you have to master it
That's
at
right.
that level so that you may give it to others.
That's right.
For if you do not give it to them in the way that they need to receive it, then that karma is pushed back on you. And the only thing I can say is that are you strong enough to carry that weight, to carry that karmic debt of another who you've misinformed in error because you weren't ready.
Right.
And we do it all the time in small little ways. And that example of the coffee was mine to you of how they were waiting for me because they saw me as a leader even then. And I thought I'm just regular Joe like they are. But that's where I was. So they said, you're not going to sing? I said, no, just don't nobody drink it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the woman probably was feeling, why didn't they drink my coffee? And because we said nothing, she said nothing. That's the way it goes, you know? Nobody wants to step up and say, I'm here. I am it.
Whoa.
Oh, you think you all that? Yes,
Yeah.
I do. And it is time for us to step up. In due time, in your due time, when you are ready to say that I am it. But when you say that I am it, you better be it. Because I'm going to tell you, this universe tests you. Other people will test you. They will throw things in your pathway to see if you know, if you can feel, if you can sense anything. People are always looking to entrap you. And that's not paranoia. That's not being spooked out. It is just human nature. You know, that's all that it is. People like to know that I got something on her. I know something about her that you don't know. You know? So let me tell you what it is. You know? So now I have authority or I have something that you don't have. So it makes me a little bit better than you. And it's a silly game that we play. But play it, we do. But when you start understanding how much you love yourself, then there's certain games you're not going to participate in. There's certain things that you're not going to do anymore. And it'll become easier for you to do those things that you say that you're going to do. The wearing of the cotton clothing. It's an easy thing. And you can test yourself by wearing the rayon, the dacron, the polyester for a week. That's all that you're going to wear. No cotton, no silk, no wools, no natural fibers. And then go back and wear all natural fibers. Wear cotton, wear silk, wear wool. And see how you react to it. I felt like I was suffocating. Once I went back into the dacron and polyester. Now, it's not to say that I never ever wear them because of the society that I live in. But I am trying to teach myself how to sew it again. So that I can make my own little skirts, my own little things, you know, because I've always depended on somebody else to do those type of things. So when we start understanding who we are and what it is that we are to do as that divine being, it becomes easy. When you start loving yourself, truly loving yourself. Who do you let in your environment? What words you let in your environment? What do you do to your body? What do you do to your mind? What do you do to your spirit? Are you truly loving it? When you know that there's a full moon, are you waiting for a group or do you do your own full moon meditation? Even though you may not even understand how to sit down and meditate. You may not know all of the technical, mechanical things to do it. But if you just stop and sit and be with the Creator knows that you're there. There's a aura that you emanate anyway. So when the universe knows that you're sitting down, you're emanating that color out into the universe. And the universe is, color flows here. And there's a connection between the universe and you. There is a connection. Because you give off that radiation. You give off that information about who you are soulfully. So how are you loving yourself? How are you loving you? Are you wearing your hair natural? Or are you trying to press it and make it be something else? How true to your divine self can you truly be? So I'm going to stop and just ask a few of you to give me some of the ways that you love yourself. Maybe there's some things that I didn't think about. You can just start with colorful, just give me just 1, 2, anything.
Well, what I wrote was, I am learning to love myself by being present in the now moment and recognizing the blessings that are bestowed upon me. With these blessings, I open myself to truth. Truth being the actualization of what is.
That's great.
And that kind of summed it up for me just now when you said about, I just talked to a young lady last night about doing my hair, twisting it up. And I talked to another lady about beginning to wear cotton, and I love white. And
all of those things that you're saying is uniquely unto you. So if Spirit is saying to you that you should wear white and you start wearing the white, that this is what you need to do your hair, there's going to be a whole new angle of light that you shall receive because of what it is that you're doing.
Right.
Because you're listening and you're putting it together of what it is that you need. It's the same thing we do with crystals. We get various crystals of different colors and learn about what does this crystal do, what does this crystal do. And then we use it because of the properties that are in that particular crystal. Well, when you are able to be who you say that you are divinely, then people know how to respect and give you what it is that you need because you're giving off that aura of whoever you are. And they feel it, they see it, they may not say a word, but it is there when you truly start loving yourself. Can I get some others of what you said as far as loving yourself?
All right. Well, what I said about loving myself is that I am taking the time to do the work to harmonize and balance myself, in order to maintain a constant conscious resonance with creation, which is very general, but for me it means something, because as you said, that we must, before we're able to share something with someone else, we must be doing the work on self first. And because at some time ago I introduced the Bold Meditation Initiation System, I am an initiate in that system myself. So I am doing the work in that system, because it's a system that I have created to help myself realize. And as I'm doing that work, I have simplified something else that I call the essence of one. And the essence of one is the essence of oxygen, nutrition, and exercise. The essence of those three includes the water, the food, the movement, the tai chi, and everything, including the boat. So, for me, as I live a lifestyle of the essence of one, I begin eventually to connect with the essence of one. And my tool of doing that is the Bold Meditation Initiation System, which I am living and working and being. Yes.
Thank you. Busy.
Okay, something. First, I want to be honest with yourself. As much as possible. But also, I guess I wanted to accept the path that I'm on. It's not, I guess, maybe trying to fight it sometimes. my other things. And I want to stay comfortable with the path that I'm on. And I'm trying to stay there, so I'm trying to be more consistent. And find true balance within myself. Where I don't get too high or too low.
Okay, all right, good. That's a good Gemini response. Not too high, not too low. Looking for that balance and not being, yeah, I mean, I'd say the same thing, you know. Well, I should say I used to say the same thing about, I didn't want spirit to get into me too hard or too soft, you know, but just right, you know, a little Goldilocks syndrome. But I'm not there anymore now. It's like, I gotta get this going. And if I'm hard-headed, then I may need my butt spanked. You know, it's like a parent.
Tough love.
Yeah, tough love. Sometimes you need tough love, and if nobody else is going to do it for me. So I have to be tough love on myself. And this is what a lot of times I always say to the students. I said, you have to make yourself mind you, because you are the parent of your divine true self. And when you know that you're not supposed to be doing something, then you have to make yourself mind you. You know, because those parasites that are in you are saying, you know, that cheesecake going in there, girl, finish it off right now. Just finish it off the cheesecake. And you're going to say to yourself, peace, be still. No, I don't need it right now because I've eaten all the food that I need to take in for the day. So we have to learn how to truly love ourselves and not let those other little voices whisper in our ear. Can we hear some of yours?
Yes, I love myself. I'm making sure that I be up before, as they say, daybreak outside, you know, first to be outside, nobody's out there but me, and seeing, you know, how that it goes from, as they say, from dark to light, and coolness of the air and freshness of the trees and all the oxygen that is around us. Very hard to explain just what I feel, but it's just like that I'm just, you know, it makes me feel the human side of me like it's gone. You know, because I'm in the flow of everything that's going on.
I can relate to that because I used to walk out in the morning and I would say, look at all my life.
That's right.
Beautiful. All this is mine. Beautiful trees, all these houses and cars. I'm abundantly wealthy. And I would just admire the universe, you know, and I would see people going to work and I would say, those are my workers who are going out into the field to take care of the universe and make sure that everything is operating, you know, as it should be. So I can relate to that. And you're right. Our words, that's a whole other lecture, but because our words are spells, they don't relay the true feeling or essence of what we're feeling. We never use a lot of the vowels, we use more of the consonants. And if you hear other people speak their languages, it almost sounds like a song, or like it's music. Okay? When we speak hard words, they say that it's softer, but I don't think so. I think that we flowed more with the universe, with the swaying of the trees, with the movement of the tide. You know, that's who we are. I mean, that's what we do. We danced. That's the type of people that we are. And I think that we've forgotten that. I know as a young girl growing up, we used to make a new dance up every week.
Right.
We were creating. Our children today are not creating as we once did, and they are being morphosis into something else. And while I say that, I want to take a commercial break and say our society is now zeroing in on us mentally. Not that they have not been, but now it's like full force. And they are trying to get you to say, oh, you're sick, and you need to go to their psychiatrists, their doctors, because they really now need to know how this original mind really ticks. Because the majority of us don't go to psychological funding, testing, doctors, psychiatrists. We don't do that. There are some who, elevated to a certain degree, and they think that that's now, well, let me go into therapy and see what I am doing. When we as a people on a whole don't do that. However, we as a people on a whole also need some type of psychological assistance. It is my belief that yes, we do. But we need to do it among ourselves.
That's what
We need to do it among ourselves and love one another through that process, because they will dope you up,
Yes, sir.
drug you
Yes,
up,
sir.
and you will not be the same. You'll be the picture of
There's
their zombie or what it is that they want.
But we use their method, I think, though.
That's what I'm saying. We have
Okay,
to change.
We have to do it a more holistic way, more universal way, bring in the natural order of things.
Yes, yes. And we can't separate it.
If we don't need the drugs or the methadone or all that, the watch,
Right.
or none of that craziness.
Right.
I think we have to look to the universe and take home.
And that you're absolutely positively correct. And if we can get some of our psychologists who are, who have been trained in that and understand it, and then turn them around into the holistic aspect of it, yes, that is what we need to do. So I just wanted to take that because I saw a commercial as I was preparing to come up here where they're actually targeting us. And they'll have a black face up there, somebody that you love and trust, and they'll say to you, you need mental help. Go to your nearest psychiatrist and get shock treatment. They're not saying shock treatment, but in essence, you're the new frontier in understanding. So I just wanted to take a little commercial break and put that out so that it's out there in the universe and you'll start understanding that.
You don't think all along we've been the guinea pig?
Oh yes, we have, but not to the degree, because most of us don't volunteer it.
We don't
We've been maybe snatched up and somebody putting you there, but on the whole, they've been the guinea pig in that arena because they thought that they were the superior ones. So they really did a lot of research on their own. There were a couple of us, as far as that's concerned, but I'm talking about the actual psychological doctors. Now, you are having a problem, and instead of, like you would talk to your best friend, you're going into therapy, where you're having drugs pushed into you on a massive scale.
But I think, because I was in the military, and they were giving us shots almost like every week.
Yeah, you guys are all ones.
It would definitely be an experiment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially at that time, like
Definitely.
since the 60s and 70s, before even war wears came about. But I also look at these colleges. I think those are bad too.
Yes, they
They
are.
are actually monitoring, looking at our progression, even through all of this minutia that they put in our bodies, even along the way, to see how we are still responding at certain levels. And I think there's more documentation on us, even coming out of the university.
Well, yes, yes, it is. It is. But I'm talking about specifically psychiatry now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, they've been doing it in all the other schools, but this is a specific targeting type of thing that they're doing. I mean, if you hear the commercial, and this was on Channel 4, when you hear it, then let it speak to your spirit. I think you'll understand what I'm saying. Maybe my words are not expressing it to the degree.
What commercial?
She talks about mental health, and she's a black person, and she's a newscaster, so it's somebody that you trust. And what they're saying is, if you're having a problem, we need some therapy. So they're putting that out into the ethers. That's all I'm saying, on a larger scale. So that's the commercial break, and I want to get back to how we love ourselves. I want to hear yours, but not now.
It's about loving ourselves. We used to take care of our own, and so many times they're not taking care of their own.
No.
I'm finding that they're in those programs that I'm assisting with, but you don't hear about us so much because we usually take care of our own. They don't go to those systems because the family knows that they act like that. They work with whatever it is that, maybe naturally, but as well, they just live with it. More so than, they don't. They separate, you take care of.
Okay, I'm going to come to Alicia and ask him, how are you loving yourself?
I love myself by being pretty honest with myself and realizing that until recently I really wasn't loving myself. And now that I see that, what I've been doing in the past 2 months is really focusing on myself, like the way that I've been wanting to help other people. I'm actually getting more to turn that towards myself so that I can continue to strive towards perfection and becoming a son. I was thinking while you were speaking, and I was like, the sun, it shines its light. And I don't even think that the sun is really aware of, the reflection that, the moon gets on its own light. It's just doing its job.
Right, exactly.
And the sun is associated with Leo, so I'm really, for lack of a better word, and I don't think it's a bad word, but just really being selfish, taking care of myself first.
And it is the most important person or job you will ever have, is to take care of self first. And I know that, our society always tries to tell us, well, help your brother out, help your cousin out. But if you ever have ridden on an airplane, what is the first thing they tell you to do? Put the mask on yourself first. Because if you're dying and you're out there with no life raft on, you can't help anybody. Even if you have your life vest on, at least you can keep them afloat, but you got to have yours on first. So the thing that we have to start learning is that we have to assist ourselves first. And when you do that, sometimes that may seem like it's a very selfish thing, but sometimes that's a very necessary thing. Because if you're drowning, and you're talking about you're going to come up here and help me what? Help me drown? You know what I mean? You don't have any money, you don't have a position, you don't have a job, you don't have a house. Come on, help me out. Help me out with what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so many times we do this because we're really asking for help ourselves.
Since we have the duality dynamic, which is really unity, I'll say that I'm being skillfully selfish.
Oh, I like that. Skillfully selfish.
Because it's unskillful, since we have the duality, you have an unskillful way to be selfish and a skillful way. So, as a strive towards perfection, my first thing is to
be skillfully
be selfish.
Yes. Yeah, you have to, because you are growing the seed of your soul. And in doing that, then you have to understand where that soul is in the now. And what is it if you believe in regression and you go back and you clean up? Because that cleanup back here is going to reflect this. Because this is going to be different because of what you've done here. And what we call the present is going to be different here because of that. It's going to have a reverberating effect. I don't know. And we have to be understanding of that. But what is it that I'm doing when I'm eating and I'm drinking and I'm participating and I'm doing all of these different things and I think that I'm helping me and I'm not?
Well, you can deep in conversation because for me, I know at least when it comes to conversation, there's certain things that I want to say. And I've been dealing with a lot of resistance in my communication with people in the past week or so. And what it is not that I'm taking care of myself and being skillfully selfish. I'm saying things how I want to say it. I don't feel like, okay, this is like, how you say it's the right time and place. I'm just saying things that I'm becoming more to where I'm just realizing that it's really not much for me to say.
Sure.
At least for now. Because
there's a lot of times when we're saying things, if we have not been skillfully, what was the word?
Selfish.
Selfish in the past. And now I'm speaking it to someone who need not hear it,
Yeah.
because they'll maybe take the information and go off on a tangent and possibly hurt themselves. You know, so there's also the understanding of the spirit, passing it back and forth, that energy, you know. I know how to talk to you, I know what to say to you, and when to say it to you so that you're receptive of it. Because if I say it in a certain way, you may not be receptive of it, and you run away still and create something from what you think that I said, or what you think that I meant. Because you're receiving it through your own what? Perception. And this is what we do. This is, well, this is my perception. Yeah, but your perception is not my perception, and that is not what I was trying to convey to you. So I have to make sure that what it is that I'm trying to convey to you, that you're getting it truly from my heart. So that when I speak my words to you, you're receiving the divinity that is to you.
The intention was all for me because I was, it's just coming to me right now as we're talking. I would say things, but it was more so to get validation.
Yeah.
So then the intention, it wasn't that what was being entered on the record for words and signals, right? It was that the intention behind the words.
But that's the operative word that you said. Validation. Many times when we are speaking, we're looking for validation. I'm looking for you to agree with me. I'm looking for you to be on my side. I want you to, ain't that right? I want you to be my amen corner. That is not what we need to be looking for. We do not need an amen corner.
Amen.
If we're coming from divinity and you're coming from truth, and the angle of light that you are reflecting is pure, you don't need it. Then you speak your words in your own authority, you walk in it, and nobody has to justify it for you because you know that I am it. And when I am it, you see it, you feel it, you look at it, you may even say, that's it. So we have to be able to understand who we are at all times, and be able to carry that energy with us, because that is what makes us such a divine and unique people. We were strong individually, and then we were strong collectively. This is where we need to now go back into, to be strong individually as well as collectively. Because when we start really understanding that, then no man can fashion any instrument that will divide us. Our men and our women need to be in oneness, attunement, with understanding who and what we are as a divine people, and then walk in that rhythm of light and essence of the oneness of who we are. So when you start thinking about how am I treating myself, how am I loving me, what is it that I do to love me? What is it I do to heal and help me to stay on that straight and narrow? And that's a very selfish thing, because nobody else can truly walk your path with you. Now, you can allow yourself to go and be with somebody or do something that they wanted to do. But when you're truly walking on your own path, it is a very lonely path. It is a very, very lonely path. And there is no real path there. There's no, beautiful little rocks and little stones neatly placed out there for you to walk on your path. Your path, you may have to sit and cut down some grass for a minute and sit there and contemplate, is this the right way that I should be going, or should I be going over on this way? And we have to have the trust within inside of yourself, not from the ego, that I am doing the right or the righteous thing to do. Because if it's righteously right for me, then it's righteously right for someone else. Because I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm not going to make myself feel good for the ego's sake. When I'm really being truthful to self. And this is why you cannot doubt your self. Because every time you doubt yourself and you feel something different, you've just punched a hole. Wow. In the essence of you. If you told yourself not to go, then you need not go. Ooh. And you make yourself mind you. If your spirit says, well, go, I know you don't really want to go, but tell something's there. Because the clearer you become, the clearer the message that you'll receive becomes. And you won't doubt. You'll walk in authority. You'll know that when you go to look for that book is there for you on the shelf. It's been waiting for you all the time. It's been waiting for you to get clear on your direction of what it is that you need to read, why you need to read it, and how you need to read it. All of that is given to you. There are times when I've even bought books and I said, I don't know why I'm buying this book, but Spirit was so heavy in me. Get this book, So I got the book, okay? 6 months, maybe a year later, then I understand, oh, wow. Because now the book's out of print, but I got it. You have to be able to trust that energy that is vibrating within you. If you don't trust anything else, that's why they say all of the answers are within inside of yourself. But you have to get familiar with self. What is self trying to say to you? What is self? What is the message of self? What is the rhythm of self? What is your yes? What is your no? And when you receive what your no is about you, and when you receive your yes, what it is about you, you can't doubt it. You can't say, oh, well, I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that today because I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? And it's like Brother David always tells us, what do you mean you don't know? You know all the answers. You have all the questions and all the answers. But if you're doubting yourself, then you're not going to receive the righteousness of where you're supposed to be going or what it is that you're supposed to be doing. There's a lot of work for us to do, individually as well as collectively. And we've got to understand this work and this journey that we're on. We've got to now look at things through a new perspective. We have to look at things in a new way because we're being given information that is uniquely for us. And if that information is uniquely for us, then we better be ready to receive it so that we can give it out to the masses. Our women now have to start understanding who and what they are, and they got to get off the stick. Yes, you know a lot, women. You know a lot. You know a tremendous amount of information. However, it's been misplaced. Because usually your mama didn't know. If your mama didn't know, then she could pass it down to you. And you're making bad choices on what you're seeing on television or the errors of your mother. So now we're going to implement something to correct that. So that you can come from your true divine self. So that when your man comes to you, you'll know how to soothe him. You'll know what to do for him to make him feel great. Because if you're making him feel great and you're feeding him whole, healthy foods, and you better believe that he's going to go out of his way to make sure that you get everything that you think that you want.
Amen.
Even if you don't even need some of that stuff.
Amen.
But if you think that you want it, he can say, well, I don't get it for her because she thinks she wants it. And he going to do it. He going to do flips. He going to break his back to make sure that you have what you need. Because he wants what he got.
That's true.
And we're going around here looking at other cultures and other people, mimicking what they're doing and thinking that's right and it's wrong. It's too much. Because they themselves did not know, because they themselves are our children that we abandoned and never taught. Right. So they just going along to get along. They tell you everything is right, everybody's right, do your thing, and your thing is wrong. And it has been for a very long time. Very long time. So we need to turn this thing upside down and ourselves right and start doing the things that we need to do. Even when you know something, then you do it. You use your will and you express and you manifest the divinity of who you are, which is God. Because everything that's in the cosmos, I think we had a question, we were asking the question, Well, where is consciousness? Consciousness is all over.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, everything in your body, everything outside of your body is the consciousness. You are it. You are it. If you took a drop of the ocean water, that would still be ocean water.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place where there's a hole in the ocean where that drop came from. Is it? And it is the same as it is with you and your spirit of who and what you are as a divinity. You are the God. When they invaded your land and they saw what you were doing, that you and your woman were in oneness, and that you had the power to think the thought and make it happen, they had to break that up.
Right.
So they took your word and they threw it out there. And they said, God is out there. There can only be one. One Superman, one Batman, one Wonder Woman. There's always one. For them, there is the collective many for us.
That's right.
Individually, we are strong and we understand who and what we are. But collectively, we are a force that you can't touch. And what's happening now is I see those forces now vibrating all over, those cells all over. Sometimes you can hear people's conversations, say, oh, somebody's waking up over there. You know, there's an old lady in the CVS, and she's talking about the doctor saying to give her a drug. She says, well, why do I need a drug? Can't I heal myself? I said, what? So you're hearing.
Right.
So the vibration is being, it's like little metal balls all now they're moving, and they're going to start coming together. We are going to come together, but it's those of us who are already out there in the forefront who are going to be the leaders. Somebody has to lead. I know a lot of times people say, well, no, they don't need no leader. We just all move. No, there's always a leader. There's always the alpha dog.
That's right.
The alpha dog is there. We just got to sniff you out. And the alpha dog can be male or female.
That's right.
So we just need to know, where are you, alpha? And then come take your rightful place. Because there's enough places for all of the alpha dogs. And there's places for the followers too. And we just have to know that. Where are you? Because when you start acting and being the way that you're supposed to be, then you allow me to act and be the way that I'm supposed to be. If I'm not the alpha dog, an alpha dog comes. What do they do?
Okay.
Oh, you bow down to it, right? There's nothing wrong in knowing your divine place. Learning how to love yourself. Where are you in the divinity of who and what you are as a divine person? It starts with you. It starts with you loving yourself totally and absolutely. From this day forth, shall you go in love, light, and your true divineness. That's Ashe.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Okay, do we have any announcements of things or comments? Okay, well, I have some announcements. This is First Fridays for ladies. This is for ladies only. Like I said, we're going to start passing these out to some ladies that you do know, you guys, of teaching them who and what they are as divine women. Make sure everybody gets one so that you can either duplicate this, and make sure that you give some woman between the ages of 18 and 85 this information that she needs to know. Because when the female is educated, then the whole world learns and they're educated. So that's First Fridays. It's from 7 to 9, right here at the Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment. There's another class that's starting the 2nd of August, Bells, Books, Candles, and Spells. They're being taught by yours truly. People are always asking me, how can I make certain things happen? How can I do things? Well, you're going to get the down and dirty course of it. It's only going to be 4 weeks. So it'll be pretty intense. I'm not gonna be trying to repeat myself. If you decide that this is what you wanna do, you do it, or don't do it, period. That's all there is to it.
And it starts August 2nd.
August 2nd, it's a Tuesday night. And we're asking for a donation of $10. If you can't, well, that's okay too. You know, come on out. But, you know, the
August
Institute,
2nd is on a Saturday.
I'm sorry, and then what is the second? Fourth.
That's Tuesday.
Yeah. It's the first Tuesday in August.
August. And it's at what time?
7 o'clock. Any other announcements, Michelle?
Yes, we do have the meditation, daily meditation at ISC Tuesday through Friday, with Thursday being set aside as a ISC group meditation. We actually focus on a particular topic for that day as a collective, individual and collectively get our synergy going on. And actually the other 3 days are focused on self, just simply spending time with self, just that 20 minutes is, I just want to be with self, that's it. So that's at noon every day. Also next Friday, the 25th, July 25th, this student body social is going to be at Dynamic Wellness. Just a reminder, we have them all come out, show your support, show your love, come out, jam with this party. It's going to be cool.
This Friday.
Yeah, this Friday.
The 25th.
Yeah, this Friday, the 25th, July 25th.
No, Dynamic Wellness.
Dynamic Wellness. Dynamic Wellness. Right, it's actually part of the larger celebration, the second annual Chi Social. And Chi is the Collective Health Initiative, which is the collective of us saying we got to get our energy and balance and harmony, period. Also, there's water here available, which we, are part of the Collective Health Initiative to have our own energized water, here on Sundays. The idea is we want to eventually increase our supply so that those who experience the water, which maybe get some during the week, can actually have it during the week as well. So we want to have a gallon glass jar, or if not, you want to bring a gallon of apple cider up here to share with us. We'll drink the apple cider and keep the glass and keep things moving. So we got the water. And also, for the brothers, real quick after the service, I just want to have a quick, question, quick chat with the brothers. Seeing the sisters got their first Fridays going on. Just want to see what's happening with us. What we're going to do about something. So, real quick after the service. And that's it.
No astrology class, I guess.
No, David said that he couldn't be here for service, but he'll have the astrology class at 4. So it's going to push it back. So it'll start at 4 o'clock today. Okay.
Also, there'll be a class taught here on starting Wednesday night, understanding the 12 systems of the body, actually how to make them, not second guess, but make them do what they're supposed to do, and that's to work in harmony and make sure that the body heals itself. So we'll be teaching classes starting Wednesday night, getting a better understanding of the 12 systems of the body. A lot of us don't even know that we have 12 systems that work within the body. And that's what we will be discussing starting this Wednesday night.
And for those of you who came in late, I wanted to read the coin message that I got from Spirit. I sat down just in here a few minutes ago. I sat down and I said, let me just kind of center myself, and this is what came through. I am the angle of light that men seek to soothe out the wrinkles of time. I am the nourishment they drink to fortify their loins. I am the nest that they call home. I am the original black dot. I am Moon Man. Thank you, Ms. Precious. I'm sorry. So if we don't have any other announcements, I'm going to ask that. Sorry.
We do have the silent retreat that's coming up, and I'm asking people to join us at the silent retreat to help discover your inner self, how to achieve those things that Reverend Dorita Dixon spoke to today. It will help you get much faster. And we can accept payment arrangements to help you out financially. So if you want more information, please see me after class.
And that silent retreat is for men as well as women, because we have a men's cabin and a women's cabin. So, see how long you can keep your mouth shut. While interacting with people. You know, we'll be eating together, and it's going to be a collective thing. So in other words, the women aren't going to be doing all the cookies. Some of the guys are going to have a cookie. Okay? But we'll be doing it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may be cutting up the lettuce, I may be cutting up the vegetables or whatever. So we'll do it together as a collective. But it'll all be in silence. And there'll be some other activities for you to do as well, you know, while you're doing all of this stuff, but in total, absolute silence. There'll be sunrise meditation, Tai Chi, Qigong, hopefully heart touch therapy will be going on, and you just sign up for the things that you want to participate in as well. So.
And I want to go canoeing, and I think it's going to be interesting to.
That would be very interesting to canoe with somebody, and you can't tell them, you know, I'm going backwards, so you go forward because you're not in the boat. I've done that with somebody, and they would talk to me, and we. Okay. Any other announcements?
Well, the day is the day everybody's supposed to have the articles in for the newsletter.
Yes.
I haven't received any, so
I have
as
I thought it was the 22nd, my bad.
Did you receive them? Did you find it?
I'll talk to you after this.
So all articles are supposed to be in today.
Supposed
He said 22nd. I heard that too.
I thought it was the 22nd.
Yeah, no, that's the one he gave us that day.
no,
Yeah, I hear you. I
I
hear you.
got it. All right. It's supposed to be today.
Okay, well, I'll give you mine. You want to read it? Okay. Spirit operates creatively only where relativeness is given a basic significance as a dynamic factor, having a cycle rhythm of its own. And as spiritual evolution in man is polarized by needs of total consciousness and selfhood, it follows that to live spiritually is to live in the consciousness of relationships. This means that the essential for human beings to understand the cyclic nature of the cycles of law of relationship. For only through such an understanding can the individual adjust themselves to and fully grow in spirit from the experience of relationship. And relationships could not be for the purpose of fulfilling the need of some third factor would have no meaning at all. Spirit is relatedness, but this is because spirit is that which fulfills all needs. Wow, that's profound. Rudolph Day, I love him. Yeah, he's wonderful. Okay, so we don't have any other questions, concerns, and we're going to train ourselves out, boy, girl. I hope that the men brought us something nourishing to eat. What? If you read the email, it said that we were going to, you want some white. Well, that's what we're going to have. Because I didn't bring any food. I said for men to bring something for us to eat.
Maybe a little male energy heavy today.
Yes, we are. They didn't bring no food. No dirty. But I did bring some.
That's okay, we just balance it out.
So finding that comfortable space and standing on your square, making your feet into a 90-degree angle. Say to yourself, peace, peace. Be still and feel the divinity, the strength of you, the divine one who we've been waiting for. We thank our guides, guards, the ancient ones for drawing near to assist us upon this journey. Let us use them wisely. Let us understand the wisdom of our words. And for this time that we spend together in oneness and harmony, we say Ashe,
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 Ashe.
Ashe.
Give a hug, get a hug. There is something.
I like it.
Chef.
That's awesome. Somebody lifted it. So no meetings today, huh?
Well, God, yeah, real quick, why not? What we going to get back to it? We're going to, yeah, because the women got a meet. It's in my mind also, I don't know about anybody else, maybe the man should get together and meet. Even if it just get together one time, to say, hey, what we gonna do, this kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because I just want to, if we want to meet, let's get a day and time to meet us. Email me, email you, I'm good. It's Sunday, after service one Sunday. Okay. Okay, just the men being after service one Sunday.
I don't know, it fluctuates for me on Sundays. I have a basketball game like this evening, so it can be 4 o'clock today, and next week it'll be 3 o'clock.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, any other time I'll make that.
Right, but if not, I mean, we definitely need to say this is what we met with, we talked about. You know, this is what we did. I mean, you got to talk. You know, we really got to talk. You know, we got.
How about the first?
I was in sitting class, but a lot of people don't really understand it. Even reading the book, I be trying to tell a lot of people, you know, it might sound funny because a lot of us don't really understand spirit yet.
Right.
But I'm trying to tell you that every day the spirit tells me to bring my gun outside. Every day the spirit tells me to leave the house.
Right.
And then those days the spirit tells me to bring it out and I don't. And then little incidents happen, they be like, see, I told you. So I'm just trying to show people. It's a lot more serious than we think. When they keep talking about spirit, they talking about praise the Lord, everybody.
Go ahead on.
We got to pray, we got to now. This man stuff is real. You understand what I'm saying? So it's time to be minute.
So that's where
That's what I do on next year.